Welcome, everybody. We are in session 1 of our software testing program, which is going to be 100 hours long. It might be even longer. I mean, even if the session is supposed to be for 1 hour, it might be too easily. I think today we're gonna exceed that 1 hour limit nicely. So let's do it this way. Before we begin, guys, any questions you might have, because we have lots of things to do today. Just any questions you might have as a result of reading our FAQ, rumors, internet stuff, not quality assurance issues yet, just overall about the class, God knows, payments, whatever questions you might have in mind about the class itself. So just write them in the Skype window, and I will do my best to answer them. Is it possible to have the TXT? Yeah, we will try. I'll do my best to have the recording of that conversation in the form of the file. But we also have subtitles on the video itself. And subtitles, I hope we're going to have nice subtitles. I'm learning how to do that stuff. I never did it before, but I decided to start doing subtitles. Yes, it is going to be whatever happens in the class, guys. After I push the button record, okay, or start recording, whatever the button is, everything is going to be recorded. Everything is going to be given to you, same as. So when you go to the class page here, not class, that page is for the first 3 sessions. Yeah, we use it for the first 3 sessions, but look at it. So here is the link. Here is the link to the video, to the webinar, which we recorded on September 6th, which was the beginning of the previous class. And we have notes. So notes are, it's a textual file where we document whatever happens in the class, we document. So you might look at the textual file, you might look at webinar itself, you might look at both. So we will record everything. And that one is the previous class of May 18th. So, and whatever we record today is going to be here. So I will remove the May 18th thing, and you will see September 6th and today's one, so January 6th. So that is what's going to be here. So for the first 3 sessions, that is where we play, that's our playground, and all the recordings are going to be here. Eventually, you will have your own page. It's like that one. That is a page for the previous class, September 6th. And perhaps, see, look at all those links. They are all links to different recordings. Web testing project, backend testing, agile, mobile project, and then sessions 1, yeah, session 1, session 2, session 3, and so on. So you will have an exact same page with your own recording with the materials which we're going to be producing in our class. So let's see if we have more questions. We do. Are all lectures going to record lectures? Absolutely. Don't worry. Everything is recorded. Moreover, you will have access to all the previous classes and to all the future classes. No limit. So you can always go and watch something recorded 4 months ago. You might go and prepare to today's class by watching the recording of that same class, done in the previous class or any time. So yeah, definitely we are trying to give you whatever might help. So the only problem is, guys, your time is limited. You cannot spend your entire life, in that classroom. The price for course is $1,500. Is this just price, or it will include some additionals? We will talk about it, but traditionally our class was 40 hours, and we charge $1,000. 2 years ago in March, because of the COVID, we decided, okay, let's put more hours. Instead of 40 hours, we made 60. And next time we said, let's make it even more extensive. So, and we grew up to 100 hours. So, and eventually we said, okay, we cannot grow that much without making certain financial arrangements. So it is $1,500 for 100 hours, basically $15 per hour. 2 years ago, that same day, it was 1,000 for 25 hours. It was no, for 40 hours. Yeah, it was $25 per hour. So it is cheaper. It is 40% cheaper than it used to be. We just couldn't keep it at the same price with number of hours, you know, growing 2.5 times. Automation test hours in this course. Yes, we have 20 hours. It is more introductory than professional grade. We do have professional grade automation class on campus, which comes to you at a great discount, but the primary focus here is to learn manual testing, having some idea of automation, because when you apply for manual testing jobs, they still want to say a couple of words or to ask a couple of things about automation. So we wanted to be there. Homework. Okay. I cannot install in the app for webinar. You don't have to install anything. It should install whatever is needed. It should be installed automatically without any of your actions. Live sessions are, we have the schedule, and we will look at the schedule. So you will see everything in there. Mock interview. Absolutely. Absolutely. You will go through mock interviews. So guys, what includes extra blah, blah, blah class, and what's the price? Well, extra, that chat is for people who already paid, who already graduated, and they just repeat the class for whatever reason. So no extra charge. If your Microsoft is in S mode, okay, go to App Store, turn S mode. Okay, guys, you know what? Let's switch to my own, actually, notes, which I took in the previous class. Okay, so we will use the notes. We'll go point by point. So that is the link to your webinar in case someone is you know, requesting the link. So just in case, I keep it for myself. That has nothing to do with you. So guys, basic stuff. We have portnov.net, which is the website we use. There is another one called portnov.com, which is a website for a campus. At some point, we said, okay, portnov.com is the school website, and whatever online operations, we have portnov.net. But you understand that 2 years ago, it all went online. So now campus and online are both remote. We still have classroom in that same building, and actually Zhana is teaching. Zhana will teach your class too. Zhana is teaching one of the classes, and she has a couple of people in her class live, but mostly it's all remote. Certain class, our program is going to be here, portnov.net. If you want more advanced classes or something like that, so you go to campus and get them with a great discount, very good discount. If you want to, automation, they're going to start a class on cloud testing in a couple of weeks, and they have a lot, actually. They have a lot of smaller but really nice classes. Certain things are new in your class, so first time. So first time, on February 7, we will start a class targeting the audience, which people who live in countries of former Soviet Union, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Belarus, and so on. Because we found out that many people who live there are joining our US class, which is very inconvenient in terms of timing. So they have to go to the classroom at 3, 4 a.m., you know. And we said, okay, let's do another class. And that is what we're going to do. It will be in English with certain support in Russian. And so if you might be interested, let me know. I'll give you the FAQ for that class. But you will have access to that class at no extra charge. Each and every student of our school, former students, okay, no matter when exactly you graduated, and not just former, I mean, you are current student, you also will have access to that class, which is a new stuff. Automation. We noticed that when we do automation, lots of people are not that much technical, and they go for a couple of sessions and drop it. And some people never go to automation because they think they have to focus on manual testing first and so on. So we decided that teaching automation in the classic way is not productive. And so I came up with the method of learning automation. And if you don't know, guys, what my career is about, so I worked as a researcher in the area of methods of intensive teaching, intensive training, vocational training. So I know how to teach fast. And so that is what we're going to do. So it will be easy to understand. It will be very practical, very hands-on, and you will enjoy it, guys. Nobody will drop. That is the goal. Okay, that is the goal. You're going to benefit from that, not just drop it or ignore it. So that part is going to be very special. Besides, you have access to all the automation classes we've done before. The 20 hours automation class, which normally happens in online classes, and we have 40 hours automation class, which is normally done on campus. It's all recorded. It's all available to you. It's just a matter of your time if you want to do more automation right now. We have Irina, my assistant, who is joining our team. Actually, she worked for campus, but I really need help to communicate better with students. So she will make our team stronger. So guys, you will have more attention from Irina, more than I can do myself. Tuition, I explained. It is 1,500. And by the way, if you are in countries of former Soviet Union, it is still 1,000. It is still 1,000. And it used to be 100 hours. It used to be, 40 hours. Now it is 100 hours. And so the price grew up from 1,000 to 1,500. So, which in my mind is very fair, honestly. We didn't increase it 2.5 times, just 1.5. Calibri, that is the software which I'm using for speech to text, which you might be enjoying. I don't know. Can you see anything? Yeah, really, it is running on my screen too. So I'm receiving that same thing. And so those things are new. Maybe, you know what, one more thing. So we will work with subtitles. Subtitles. And subtitles came to my mind because I want to do it for the former USSR, students over there. But I think we need, it's nice to have subtitles in English, subtitles in Russian. So I started to look into that stuff. So I will do my best to do subtitles in, I'm learning how to do it, guys. I don't know yet. Russian, English. So if we have volunteers to clean up the subtitles, yeah, because it is not 100% accurate. It's maybe 95% accurate. So if you have volunteers to participate, I'll be more than happy to have volunteers. So we've got quite a few things which are new. What else? So guys, that is the web page where we gonna be for the first 3 sessions. Yeah? Online, Portnow.net, online home. Okay, you will have access to that file, guys. It's going to be given to you. Now, we have a forum, forum.portnow.com. To register, when you register, it will ask you for secret stuff. Okay, whatever. I don't know exactly how they call it. But that is, it says, why are you here? What's the reason, guys? That is the reason. Okay, here is what you type. Otherwise, you cannot register that. Okay, and we will use that forum for homework. So you want to be registered. So registering there is a part of your homework. Then we have, let me go there. So here is the forum. And on that forum, you have that sub forum, which is called Software QA Testing Interview Questions. Here it is. We keep in-depth answers for 20 or 21 questions, typical interview questions, which are important. And I even gave you the link directly to that page. God knows why. I mean, obviously it's easy to click on that link, but in case you cannot figure out, okay, here is the direct link there. We will use that in our class. Now, payment stuff. Again, there is no rush. Okay, the first 3 sessions are a trial, and we want you to join the class with clear understanding what's ahead. We do not want anybody to be upset, and we do not want anybody to feel like the decision was emotional. By the way, if you go to portnow.net, website, we have lots of nice things here, specifically instructor contract. Yeah, contract. So it explains the conditions. So 100 hours, $1,500, but it is not refundable, guys. You can repeat the class unlimited number of times or whatever. That is why it's not refundable. It's an electronic good. So as long as you get into the system, basically you have everything in there. I mean, you will not go, maybe you will not go to the live sessions, but you have all the recordings. I mean, everything. So think twice, guys. We do not want any disappointments here, but we also cannot just kind of operate like same way we sell a book, paper book. Electronic book and paper book are 2 different things. So that is the rule of the game. We want you to understand the rule and how it works. There is a page. We are working on better page. But so far, that is what we have. We are adding, so it will accept credit cards and PayPal and Zelle. Zelle, to me, Zelle is the easiest one. We enjoy Zelle, just boom. If you are in US, it allows you to pay just out of your bank account to our bank account. Just takes half second. Bank transfers. If you are overseas somewhere, it's called SWIFT. SWIFT is the international system, banking system. So we can do that, bank transfer. There should be Google Pay and Apple Pay. So we are doing that for people who will join us February 7 from Russia, Ukraine, so on. We are trying to cover all the popular things over there. But again, not all of that stuff is already there, but definitely you can pay PayPal, Zelle, credit card, you can do Swift, and so on. Here is the payment page. Guys, no rush. But we already have 20 people who paid for the class because God knows, they know they want it, and for whatever reason, we are not telling you do it as soon as possible. It's not what we tell. We want you to be sure you are doing the right thing, because unless you are sure, we cannot do much with you, because our goal is to get a job. You are not here for kind of entertainment. You are not here for educational purposes. You are here to get a job, to change your career. Okay, guys, tell me if you have any other goal. I mean, are you here to get a job in software testing? Or maybe I just misread your intent. At least 3 yeses. Okay, now we have more. Yeah. Okay, guys, I was sure it's the case. It is the case, but God knows, God knows. So what's important, guys? You know why you are here, okay? And we are here for you getting the job. And if you think about it, we have tens, I'm not sure about 100, but tens of people or institutions teaching software quality assurance. And some of them are being run by our graduates. And when I look at all these people, they all are spending significant amount of money on advertisement. And I talked to a couple of those, and they tell me it's about $1,000. $1,000 per student just to have them in the class. It is not just the advertisement itself, but also people who are processing the phone calls and all that stuff, marketing, Guys, we've been in business for 27 plus years, since August of '94. We are the first software testing school in the world. And we do not advertise. And we never had as many students as we have today. Zero advertisement, zero cost. Now, the only reason it happens, you get jobs. Okay? So you are here to get a job. We are here to make sure you get a job. Otherwise, we would have to advertise, then we don't care if you get a job, yeah? Because if my source of getting students is buying them, yeah, on the market, I don't care if they get a job. Guys, we are opposite. We make sure you work. So I need people here who want to get a job. I need people here, you, to come to me and say, Michael, you, okay, are responsible. You will lead us, okay? We're going to get a job with you. So that is my ideal student, guys. Okay? I want to be in demand. I'm not just teaching you some technical subject, which basically you can learn for free if you want to. I mean, okay, so that is my call for motivation, and make sure you want that, make sure you have that trust and you are committed. So that is, then you pay the money. I mean, yeah. Yeah. So when you decide to pay the money, guys, you pay the money and you register. Without you registering, I won't be able to give you access to the resources we have. For example, here is here is the link to your class page. It doesn't exist yet. I didn't make it, but I know the URL. Let me do it this way. I will take the previous class. Just a second. I will take the previous class, September 6th. Okay. Here is the previous class. Here is the URL. Copy. Okay. Here is the URL. Let me send it to you. Okay. Let me send it to you. I mean, in the extra class, everybody has access, so it's not going to kind of surprise them. But guys, you are in the new class, yes? And you are having the class page link. Click on that link. Click on that link. And you will see that it is asking you for password or something, login, because you are not approved. Your account is not authorized yet in our system. So for your account to be authorized, you pay the money and register. It takes 1 minute. Okay, you register, then I go and authorize your account. And how do you know if you are authorized? The link works. Okay, so you go there and you see the class page. By the way, people, guys, people who are in the final here, in the January 6th final, I won't say that I authorized all of you, but some of you are. How to find the schedule? I'll give it to you, guys. I'll give it. I'm just trying to think where if I have it at my fingertips. No, it takes some some work to find out. I'll give it to you for sure. I will send the schedule to that same chat. Okay. Anybody has access? Oh, okay. Someone sent you. Who is it? Some people send you, guys, the send you the schedule. That is the link to the schedule of your class. Very good. You know what I do? I will take it, copy. I will take it and put it in your file here. Go, okay, schedule. Yeah, some people are nice. They are helping me. So it's a long one. Okay, schedule link. Very nice. File, save. Keep going. Registration. So class page. Okay, here is your class page, but you have to register first. And the rules of using our chats, I mentioned that before, but one more time. Each class has 2 chats. You have 2 chats. Look at you. You have trial and trial informal. Can you see it? Trial and trial informal. Informal is for communication in between classes. Eventually, guys, after first 3 sessions, we will allow the people who are repeating the class to join you in that informal one. So in between classes, we want as many people as possible to communicate about the homework and interview questions, all that stuff. And people who are in extra class are more knowledgeable than you are. So you will greatly benefit from that. By the way, people in the extra class, to get into the informal one, you will have to write to me directly eventually, but not for trial, but for the final class. Here is the final, January 6th final. We will have one more chat, final informal. And final informal is where we invite people from the extra class who are interested in participation. So the rules. So our chat is not social gatherings, guys. You are not there to socialize. You are there to exchange valuable information, to learn. And actually, it is a property of the school, by the way. So we create that stuff. So we are owners of that stuff. We moderate that stuff. So we do not want to do extra work to clean up, guys. No garbage. So only the class-related issues. No spam, obviously, and no distractions. Okay, no spam, let's say distractions. Distractions, because anytime you put something there, couple of hundred people know that, and they go and say, what is there? See? Smiles, don't do it. Thanks. You ask a question, you get an answer. Do not say thanks in a separate kind of message, okay? Just think about distracting people. So we want as to minimize the distractions. Also, no links to third-party resources without my approval. For example, you think there is a book which people might benefit from. Maybe, I don't know. You ask me. You might think that there is a useful website. You might think there is a guy who everybody wants to listen to. Or someone suggested you and you bring it to the class. No way. I can tell you guys, whoever you are, there is no single person in that classroom, in that chat, who came to learn from you. Okay? So, no assault. I'm just trying to make sure that I am in control because I am responsible for the results, guys. See what I mean? And you would rather learn from me. You would rather go to third-party resources after you get the basics and you are prepared to consume, what might be valuable in other resources, not to be confused. I've seen it so many times. You can believe me. So all the rules here, even if you think they might be restrictive, somewhat restrictive, but they are all built to protect you and to benefit you. Okay, each and every single rule is here to benefit you. Okay, any questions about that part? Because we are ready to go to the software testing stuff. How to get into informal trial chat. Informal trial chat. There is a link which I placed there, but I will ask Irina, or maybe one of the students can do that. So you can put the chat, that link there again. I don't know. I did put it there, and if you look at that informal chat, we have there 140 people. I mean, really. So there is a link. Okay, where is that link? Yeah, no. Oh, it wasn't here. It was in the main chat. Yeah. So guys, if you have the link, just give it to us, please. Okay. So what else? A link doesn't work for me for some reason. Even I paid tuition 1 month ago. Just contact me in Skype after the class. We'll fix everything. I can promise you. So we are capable of fixing all the problems. What we are not capable of doing, so we cannot do it immediately because sometimes it takes a couple of minutes. Yeah? Link doesn't work. I'm trying from different guys. That is the most pointless, way of fixing problems. So I mean, we cannot fix anything here. Okay, and if you are in trial, that link is not going to work for you at all. Oh, you mean Portnow.net link? Oh. Yeah, definitely that link is not okay. If we talk about the class page, it is not going to work for you. No, I mean, no way, because you are not registered, not authorized. If you are authorized, so then contact me. And I mean, not if you paid already, so let me do it. Make sure you register first. You register and then contact me. I will authorize you within a second. Okay, extra. What we have in that extra? Okay, we have another link to the schedule. Okay. September 6th class. No, we don't need September 6th class schedule. We already have January 6th schedule. We already have it. Yeah, it's right here, January 6th class schedule. Obviously, it exists. And Irina tells me that she placed a link. Where is that link then? Link to join the informal class. Yeah, here it is. So if you are in the trial chat and you want to join the trial informal chat, you just click that link and you're going to be there. It says service unavailable. I will not fix it today. I mean, right now, definitely not at that time. Okay. Okay. Now, so guys, are we done with the questions? Can you repeat information about February 7 about Russian support? I will give you, okay, I will give you the February 7, February 7th. I will give you the link to the FAQ. So it's www.portnov.net FAQ-RU. Okay, here is the FAQ for the February 7th class. Copy. Okay, I'll send it to you. And it is a part of the record. So guys, looks like we are done, yes? Okay, just waiting for a couple of seconds and go. Will there be a certificate of completion? Oh, absolutely, guys, absolutely. I mean, you want to see how it looks like. Yeah, we do that electronically, obviously. Yeah, we do it nicely. No. Certificate, something like that. No. So we'll do one for you. It takes a couple of minutes to create one. Okay. In today's world, guys, it's so simple. Okay, we are here. No, we are in okay, we are in Skype. Can we pay in 2 installments? Normally, we expect people to pay in 1 installment. I mean, just make 1 payment. But if you have any specific circumstances, you can always knock, my door and ask for whatever arrangements might be needed. Certificate of completion, yes. Can you repeat, please, what is extra chat for? For whatever reason you want and you have the right to audit any other class in that school forever. There is no limitation. So let's say you decided to repeat the class. It might happen because you just graduated and you want to do it again. Maybe you didn't have enough time in the previous class, so you want to recover. Maybe you did it 3 years ago, but somehow you didn't make it, and then now you want to come back and repeat. In that group of people which we are talking to right now, we have people coming back to 2016. Whatever reason, in the previous class, in the September class, we had a girl who graduated in 2013, 8 years ago, and she got a job and she worked for a year, and then she went with her husband to Europe, and she has like 7 years break. So she comes and says, what does it cost me? I said, it's free. I mean, you already paid your tuition. You can do that as many times as you want in your life. Our goal is you getting a job. That is the product. Classes are tools, resumes are tools, projects are tools, interview preparation, all that stuff. They're all tools. The product is you getting a job. So as many times as you want, you can go there. We have people who already are working, and they have been working for a couple of years already, and they still go to that class. And when I try to clean up, they say, no, I want to be there. Okay. Because to me, it's not really clear why you would want to go there sometimes, even after having a couple of years of experience already. But look, they find something beneficial in that stuff. So I mean, I'm just happy to be of service. Portnov net forum, which is login section after registration. I do not understand what it says here. Can you repeat how to get informal chat? There is a link, yeah, which is just above here. Okay. I think I should extra because I am repeating. It's up to you. Sometimes people who are repeating are basically learning from the very beginning. So we want them to be in main chat. It depends how you, what your specific path is. So let's say you contact me, you say you want to repeat, and then you tell me your story, and I say, you know what, you will repeat with the main class. So you can contact me on the matter if you want to. We need to pay it additionally after 1500. No, it's given. No extra charge. You pay one time, and then all the classes we have here are yours. No, you don't have to pay for the that European called class. No, and they pay their money and whatever, which is less than that, and they can still. I wouldn't say they want to go into your class, but they will have access to all the recordings. Extra 22 chat is for people who are repeating the class. They will also be joining this chat. No, they will not be joining this chat. They will be joining informal chat for communication in between sessions. During the class, they communicate in their own chat. Look at that extra 2022. Look at that. They are not saying much. But yeah, they do communicate. And again, not many people in the chat are right now in the class. So you can see 450 participants, but maybe 25 are in the class. So their participation rate is very low, just a couple of percent. They just want to be in the class and to maybe, I don't know why, really. I have no idea. Different people, different reasons. Okay, guys, are we ready to go for the feature presentation? Yes, no? I think, okay, can tuition be broken, blah, blah, blah. I already answered that question. Yes, please, yes, please, yes. Repeat the class, but I do not have an extra group. Listen, the last thing you want to do right now is to distract me with that stuff. Really, I cannot fix anything, and I cannot discuss that. And whatever I mean, issue you have, guys, we will do it, but not right now when 200 people, 220 people are participating. Go for the feature presentation. Okay, guys, see what happens. I didn't. Okay, one more thing I have to tell you before we go. How you do the homework. In our case, you do the homework before the class, not after. For example, today we have session 1. And you were supposed to do the homework first. So you watch the video, you do the answers and questions, there is a quiz. No, you learn answers, then you do the quiz, then you watch James Beck video. I hope you enjoyed that one. Again, if you didn't do it, you will do it. You have time in between today and Monday, so you have plenty of time to actually do it. Then, and you watch the recording. You watch the recording of the session 1 from previous class. Then, guys, Monday, you have session 2. how do you prepare to session 2? You go to homework, you watch the video, you familiarize yourself with that website, you apply GUI checklist, which is here in the video, to a certain application, blah, blah, blah. You do all that stuff. Okay, then you go to, and you have a quiz here too. And then you go and watch that. You watch the previous class webinar. It might take you 5 hours, maybe 6 hours to prepare. Same thing with the session 3. So you do the homework first, then you watch the webinar, and then you come to the class. So that is how we do it. Okay, guys, is that part clear? You come to the class with homework prepared. Yeah, not opposite way. Good, very good. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. I just wanted to know what it is. Okay, good. Here, next one. Yeah. Yeah. So we have that SurveyMonkey software, which we use for surveys. And you were supposed to go to that survey, yeah, SQA basic 1. So let's go there. And lots of questions there. I mean, 10, basically, really 10 questions, so which you are supposed to answer. And guys, when you answer textual questions, so you do not copy paste anything. Okay, you just answer them off the top of your head. So you learn something and then do it. I don't need your copy paste stuff there. So you did your quiz, the survey, and we go now to the results of your survey. And we will go through. And I just want you to understand that surveys are built on one hand, because we want to learn certain things. On the other hand, because each and every question here is coming from interviews. There is no single question in our quizzes which comes from nowhere. They all are coming from interviews. So let's say question number 1, what makes software QA career attractive to you? And it's a multiple choice. Yeah, it comes with certain answers here. So it allows me to make more money. Guys, money is nice stuff. I mean, everybody cares about money, but still it is not the primary reason for choosing your career. I mean, it shouldn't be the primary reason. Let's put it that way. Or at least it is not the reason you bring to the interview. QA jobs are safer than my jobs in current profession. Not really. Not really. Well, I would say IT in general has been booming for many decades. So it is as safe as any other IT job, but safety doesn't come from profession. Safety comes from your skill level. Who are you in that profession? So don't say it is safe, because, well, is it safe? I don't know. I survived a couple of recessions here, and sometimes it's not really safe. Yeah? But definitely it is safer than many other jobs. But job safety is not what you bring to the table when they ask that question. Just remember, if you want to be safe in your current profession, it's about your level in that profession. Okay. I enjoy working in IT or high-tech environment, which is a very good one. You just like it. You don't have to apologize, and you don't have to explain why you like certain things, why you like ice cream, yeah, why you like whiskey. Guys, I mean, in our classroom, so you probably prefer other drinks, but yeah, it employs my natural talent and passion for perfection. Maybe, I mean, if you really feel that way, if you believe when you say that, people say, yeah, I mean, I trust the guy. I mean, obviously he is not lying. It is part of him. Yeah, it's a nice answer. So it might be another very decent answer. I'm just trying to tell you that referring to money and job safety is not a good answer. There is one thing which I didn't tell you before starting. It's here. Correct answer is not good enough. When you come with an answer and you say, what's wrong? It's a correct answer. Not good enough. We have competitors. So let's say we have a position. We have 3 people applying for that position. Maybe not today, okay? Maybe not. Today we have a crazy market. But let's say we have 3 people, 3 individuals, and all 3 are good. So guys, correct answer is not good enough. They all come with correct answers. You have to beat them. It has to be better than correct. So that is why we go, we look at that stuff. And that is why on the school forum, we have questions and answers which are strong, so strong that if you use them, you beat your competition. Okay? So that is the reason we have it on the forum. It's here. Okay, keep going. Define negative testing. So we have negative testing and we have positive testing. So negative testing has meaning only in a pair with positive. Yeah, positive, negative. What's the difference, basically? So, and we are pretty much unanimous here. So aimed at showing that software handles properly situations in which user acts not as user is supposed to act. So what if user doesn't do it the way we expect them to do? How the system is going to react? Is it going to crash? Is it going to come up with weird messages? Is it going to confuse that user? Yeah. And so that is negative. That is negative. Let me see if we have anything. Yeah, look at that zip code. You understand the zip code, guys. You've seen the zip code on a form. Actually, okay. What is negative? Yeah. So definition: aimed at showing that software handles properly situations in which user acts not as user is supposed to act. Okay. And very important thing: makes sense if positive testing fails. If makes no sense. So if positive testing fails, nobody cares about negative. If software doesn't do what it is supposed to do, if user does the right thing, who cares what happens if user doesn't do the right thing? So I probably the text is coming from the forum. Yeah, let's go to the forum here, where it says negative. Yeah, here is negative. Yeah. Yeah, I just copy pasted from here to show you the value of the negative. So normally we are saying, yeah, that is just aiming at showing the software handles properly situations in which user acts not as user is supposed to act. But we want to be stronger. We want to beat the competition. That is why we come with few more things. And so it makes no sense if positive testing fails. Nobody will do negative. Negative testing should be done after positive, which is obvious. If you do not have enough time, lack of time situation, guys, it's always there. I mean, lack of time situation is 100% of the time. So you minimize or skip completely negative testing. It's not like you decide that. So your manager will tell you, your team will tell you, but definitely the attention of the team is on positive testing. If user does the right thing, user should get the result. Yeah. So negative testing is more about software being nice, and positive testing is more about software kind of doing the job if user knows what user wants to do. Negative testing results in more bugs than positive. So if you do negative, if you do, let's say 100 negative test cases, so you will get maybe 20 bugs. If you do 100 positive test cases, maybe you get 2 bugs or 3 bugs, because nobody pays attention to negative. Unless you do negative testing, guys, nobody cares. Developers will not do negative testing. They have no time for that. Okay, it's you. And the volume of negative testing is much larger than positive. And here is the example. We have zip code field. And we have some requirements for zip code. So requirement number 1, it takes 5 characters. All the characters are digits. And all the zip codes are existing zip codes. For example, if you put 5 zeros, there is no zip code like 5 zeros. So if it is not existing, it should somehow complain. So and now we have test cases. First, we have positive. And positive testing is what you do. First, you say, okay, 5 digits existing, yeah? 94085. That is the place where I am right now. Okay, 94085 is Sunnyvale, where my office is. So what do you expect? Accept it, yeah. And that is a positive type, positive testing. So test case number 2. What if it is not 5 digits but 6? So you have 1 more digit here. Rejected. What do you expect? Rejected. Okay. So that is negative. User didn't do what we expected him to do, so reject. 4 digits. Again, 1 digit is missing. We expected rejected. Non-existent. Let's say 0000. Rejected. Non-digit. So there is a letter there. Instead of 0, guys, there is a letter. It is not all digits. Yeah? Because of the letter. And the next one is not all digits because of the special character. So we have letters, we have digits, and special characters, just 3 types. Yeah? So here we've got 6 test cases, out of which just 1 is positive. I can tell you more, guys. In reality, when it comes to testing that zip code field, you will have copy. You will have few more. You will say 7, 8. You will say letter paste. Paste letter. Okay? Paste, not type, but paste. Sometimes what might happen, it doesn't allow you to type, but then you want to paste and allows you to paste. Paste special character. And they're all negative, yeah? I'm just trying to think if I can show you something. Just a second, guys, maybe. Just a second. There is a energy telecom. No, energy telecom portal .net. Yeah, let me see. Is it here? No. I'll find it. Just a sec. I'll find it somewhere, guys. I just want you to see things like that. Maybe you've seen them a lot. I don't know, but already I just go to the class and we are using some small thing where things happen. Yeah, here is the form. So let's say zip code. If I want to type letters, it takes letters. What if I try to type special characters? Okay, it does not accept special characters. Okay, now let me do it here. I will put special characters here, say copy, and paste. Opa. You see that? Huh? So guys, you understand now better what I was talking about, 2 more test cases. So you can type. So basically, here it was type, yeah, type, and it was type. And all of them above are about typing, yeah? File, save. Okay, now, my question to you. The volume of negative testing is much larger than positive, okay? For one positive thing, there might be 10 ways of breaking things down. Is that clear? Okay, so we are going over negative testing. Not a big deal. It is very intuitive. And when we talk about software quality assurance as a profession, let me maybe do something for you here. I left some space for question, but you didn't have the question. Okay, why? I will ask that question. Why they are hiring you with no experience? What is the value? Basically, the question is, what is the value? And again, if you are 17, they hire you for your potential. But if you are not 17, if you are 27, if you are 37, guys, you tell me, why would they hire you? Why would they hire you? People in the extra chat, guys, you tell me, you should know. More reliable, fresh view. More reliable. No. Life experience, okay. Life experience is interesting. Okay. Transferable skills, okay. Okay, transferable skills, yes. You might have certain skills which are easy to transfer. Transferable skills, yes. Transferable, probably one R, yeah. Transferable skills. Second one is, okay, it was life experience, okay, life experience. And I would say life/business. Business, okay, maybe not, okay. Let's call it, let's have life experience. Let's call it business perspective. Business perspective. Software testing, QA at that level, okay, at that level is not very technical. Very technical. It will be eventually when you go into automation, when you go into back-end testing, when you go into technology, it's going to be much more technical. But at that level, where they pay 30, 35, 40 bucks per hour, at that level, your vision of things from business perspective. So you might view software through the eyes of an end user. Yeah. So business is not very technical. So business understanding. Okay, understanding of business perspective, business aspects. Okay, aspects is also very important. I would say is equally important. That is why you cannot get programming job because you understand how accountant works. No, not really. It is about programming. So you will not get a system administrator job or DevOps job or database admin job because you know some details of some certain profession. No, but in QA, the business perspective, the previous experiences you have, yeah, life experience, transferable skills, all that stuff matters. Okay, file save. So guys, yeah, we're gonna close that one. Oh no, we go through the survey. Okay. So we talked about negative testing. Very good. What is software testing? Interesting. Guys, when it comes to software testing, let me see if I have any notes on that here. When it comes to software testing, yeah, it says software testing, making sure the software application is up to the requirements, up to the requirements. Basically, that is the overall idea. Not exactly the idea, but overall idea. So why we test? Because we have requirements. Developers use requirements to create software, and we compare what they created, what they developed, against the requirements. And that process is called verification. So verification is comparing the actual software with requirements. It is not the only part of software testing. But when they ask you that question, what is software testing? Let me keep in mind the software QA perspective. So when you see the picture in your mind, because if you have the picture, you can always explain what it is. Yeah? But the picture in your mind is, here is testing and here is software quality assurance. Software quality assurance. They are different. They are not the same. And when people ask you what is software testing, lots of people will come up with quality assurance idea. When they ask you what is quality assurance, lots of people will come with software testing idea. And one of the reasons is in the industry where they hire you. Okay, it's not like you are reading a book, but when you go to job market, you read job descriptions, they might interchangeably call it software tester, software QA engineer, software test engineer, software development engineer and test. There are maybe 7, 8, I'm not sure about 10 different ways they call pretty much same person. I mean, you might take exact same job description and you will see that exact same job description under pretty much same, under 5, 6, 7 different titles on the job market. So that creates an impression, especially if people didn't take, I mean, never took classes or something like that. So make no difference. So be careful. When they ask you, what is software testing? Say, okay, here is testing, here is quality assurance. What is the difference? Okay. We have more elaborated answer. Again, for those of you who didn't do the homework, I can tell you that your homework for session 1 includes the interview questions and answers. So here, it gives you questions and it gives you answers. Again, not for copy pasting to my quizzes. Okay, you learn it first, and then you go to the quiz. What is quality? What is software quality? What is software quality assurance? What is the difference? Separate question. What is the difference between software testing and software quality assurance? Okay. So what is software testing? Look at that. It says, the purpose of testing is verification, validation, and error detection. That is more elaborated definition. Okay? So verification is checking for conformance and consistency by evaluating the results against pre-specified requirements. So you have requirements, but there is an opposite process. You look at software, and then validation is the process of checking that has been specified is what the user actually wanted, basically you are looking at requirements and you say, is it what benefits the customer? So that is validation. And then error detection, to me, it is not a number 3 in that list. Error detection, in my mind, is just a sub-product of verification. When you make sure that certain things are implemented according to requirements, you run into problems, you run into imperfections, you run into something. Unless you test, guys, unless you do verification, you never run into error detection mode, you know? So to me, it's a kind of sub-product. But again, you go to an interview, what you're gonna say? Basically, if you come up with that making sure software application is up to the requirement, it's fine, guys. It is fine. If you want to go deeper, you can say, well, we have 2 different processes. So one, we look at the requirements and how they are implemented, which is verification. And then we look at the we look at the software and how requirements are implemented. And then we look at the requirements and we are asking ourselves, are they good requirements? So when you're going to write bug reports, guys, you will write bug reports against implementation, and you will also write bug reports against the requirements. You will say, no. Okay. Coming back to the interview questions, coming back to the material we'll give you, which we give you to study, and specifically how you answer quizzes, guys. You remember I told you we do not need any copy-paste stuff here. Why? So we talk about 4 levels of learning here. That is a little piece of kind of educational theory. Level number 1, recognition. Student cannot solve the problem without outside help. But you're saying, yeah, Michael told us something about it. Do it. I cannot. So the problem of the level 1 is no job. No job. Reproduction. Reproduction means you can do it. I mean, I show you how to do test cases, so you practice a little bit, and then you can go and do the test cases. So reproduction is where you get a job. Hired. Okay, here is where the jobs are. You want to be at the level 2, at the level of reproduction. In between no job and hired, okay, there is practice and hard work. No practice, no hard work, no job. Just trying to make sure you understand me, guys. One thing you are listening, another thing you are practicing. Because when you are practicing, you go back and forth, you know, looking again at that theory, trying to better understand. You listen to me, it's so clear. Then you start doing it. What the hell is that? It is natural, guys. It should be like that. And probably it did. I mean, it happened many times in your life already. But the point here is go forward, go from level 1 to level 2. You know? So, and practice is what brings you from level 1 to level 2. Okay? You might say, what are level 3 and 4? Level 3 is subjective creativity. I mean, you create something which is new to you. Some people are creative, you know, when they come to the class, they're already creative. And actually, our class will not make you more or less creative. But to be creative, you have to have some fundamentals in place, you know. You cannot be creative having no idea what the subject is about, you know. So people who are professional, people who are doing things which are new to them, but they can handle that, they're expert. That is expert level, seniors, principals. You know. Objective creativity, science. So people create something which didn't exist before. We don't care about these people. So we care about getting to the level 2 in that school, and then going to the level 3 when you start working, okay, within a certain period of time. That is the idea. But so far, practice and hard work is what brings you to that state. Okay, keep going. Keep going. No, we don't need this one. Guys, are you tired? Because I'm trying to entertain you, so you are kind of learning, being in a good mood. But are you okay or no? So hour and a half we are here enjoying. No, it's okay. It's okay. Guys, you can't imagine how much I am enjoying being with you, even though you are just in that online program, you are the class number 38. We had 37 classes before you over 10 years. We started the online that online program in May of 2011, so 10 years ago. And but the rest of it, I mean, the campus part, we started in 94. I cannot even believe I'm that old. God knows. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Nice. Keep going. I'm just trying to make sure you are kind of consuming the information. You're not bored. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm jumping from window to window because I have so many things in front of me. So what is software testing? Okay. What is software quality? Another question out of the that list where you were supposed to learn the question, the answers. So software quality, and we are saying that quality, it has two perspectives. It doesn't matter if it is quality of your shoes or it is the quality of your software. It depends who is judging the quality. If you go to a store and you want to buy something, you are the judge. So it is about customer satisfaction, which is very subjective, guys, very subjective thing. But it is a customer satisfaction. But in manufacturing, in design, in programming, there is a component of quality where someone, developer or tester or whoever, looks at requirements, looks at the end result and says, okay, here is low quality, high quality, just based on technical issues. Let's say if all the bugs are fixed and the product works perfectly, it is a high quality product. It doesn't mean people gonna buy that product because the quality of the software might not be the major decision making point. So people who are new to software testing, they think that if they test well, if they find all the bugs, if the bugs are fixed, people are going to buy it. No, not really. Not necessarily. So it's kind of maybe in the ideal world, but not in reality. So what is software quality? On one hand, it is a subjective matter to people who are customers. And on the other hand, it is how far or how close that product, that software, is to the requirements. And guys, very important thing, when you go to an interview, and the smaller the company, the more diversity of people you're going to talk to. So you might talk to marketing person, to salesperson, to developer, to God knows who, because they just do not have that many testers to talk to. And these people have different perspective. Some of them are pretty much on the consumer side because they want software to be sold. They want people to be happy. If you tell them that it is up to the requirements, they say, yeah, but why people don't buy it then? See what I mean? Quality, people don't like it. What are you talking? Why are you talking to me about requirements? What's wrong in the whole process of coming with requirements which people don't like, don't appreciate? See what I mean? It's more complicated than just being up to requirements or just people liking or not liking it. It's a complicated matter. So that is software quality. Okay. Software quality assurance. Software quality assurance is a process. Yeah, it's kind of set of activities. So what do we have here? Maybe we have some in my file. Let me see. Yeah. No. Okay. So quality assurance looks at the entire process of creating software. Testing is working with the code. Yeah. If you have no code, you cannot test. You cannot execute that code and look at what's happening. Software quality assurance looks at the big picture, all the stages of software development lifecycle. It starts with analysis, and then requirements, and then development, and then testing, and then maybe documentation, or whatever is involved. That is what software quality assurance looks at. And software quality assurance is not born by software industry. Quality assurance is coming from manufacturing. Quality assurance is everywhere. So car manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, it's everywhere. So then it is in software as well. So, and it says here, looks into entire process of creating software. Entire process. That is the key difference between software quality assurance and software testing. Quality assurance is looking at the entire process of creating software. Software testing looks at the code itself. No code, no testing. Some people will tell you that testing is a part of quality assurance, which makes sense as a stage of development. Some people will tell you it has nothing to do with software quality assurance, it's just by itself. Guys, whatever they say. I mean, whatever we look at, there are going to be multiple, standpoints, and each and every standpoint has some, valid reason to exist. But again, when they ask you, what is software quality assurance? You ask yourself, okay, testing, quality assurance. Okay, one, another one. Okay. And again, the answers are given to you in that on that page. I'm just trying to make sure you understand me correctly. We gave you all the questions, all the answers here. And look, it says session 1 questions. We have, but we have 2, 3, 4. We have 4 files for that stuff. Probably they are not given to you in the 4 here. In the free trial sessions. But if we go to the main course, and look at resources there, your class is going to have same page. Should be there. Just a second. Software QA interview questions and answers, part 1, part 2, part 3, other. So here is a pretty good collection of interview questions, guys, which they're gonna ask you. And it is very, let's say there is a 15% probability there's going to be a question outside of that. But your resume generates certain questions. And if you go to 3, 4 interviews, you will not see new questions anymore. That is the process, that kind of process. Okay. Okay, so coming back to the quiz. What is black/white box testing? Black box, white box. The key difference, the fundamental difference is, are we looking at the source code? Are we finding bugs in the source code? Or are we finding bugs in the behavior of the software from user perspective? So black box testing is testing from user perspective. White box testing is testing from source code perspective. And most of the white box testing is done by developers. there are people whose title is white box tester. So they are developers, basically, involved in testing. People who can do white box testing are people who are capable of doing development. For whatever reason, they are assigned the task of testing. But they might do development. They might not be good developers. They might be real good at white box testing, but not real good at development, obviously. But they have the skill set which allows them to code. Okay, so they have to find bugs in the source code. They work with debuggers. They might write certain programs which exercise programs and so on. So it's kind of complicated matter. So you definitely have to know at least one programming language very well. And most likely one language, the language itself is not enough. You would need to know much more than just one language. Yeah, black box testing is when software being tested from only user perspective, no source code used. Yeah. There is one detail here, guys, which I want you to maybe look at. Oh yeah, we have software testing, software quality. We actually do look at that. What is software quality assurance? Black box, white box. Black box software testing is done without access to source code, without using. You might have that access, you just don't use it. White box testing is done with access to the code. Bugs are reported at the source code level, not behavioral. Very good. Okay, now guys, white box testing is about how testing is done, not about who does it. See what's interesting. So we have developers, we have white box testers, we have black box testers. But let's take a look. Let's do it this way. So writing, let's say programming. Okay, programming. Who does that, guys? Who is the person who does programming? It's kind of obvious. Tell me. Who is that person who does programming? Developer. Yeah, very good. Developer. Developer. No. Programming. You know what? No, I will change it. I will change it. Let's say developer. Okay. I will change it. Sorry. Developer. He does programming. He does programming, yes. Obviously, developer does programming. After developer created some code, then he executes that code. Or let's say in the process of programming, developer works with debugger. Developer does certain things to make sure to fix the bugs. And he has to identify the bugs, fix the bugs. So basically, he does black box testing. White box testing. White box testing. So it is also a part of his job. Lots of people will tell you that 40, maybe more than 40% of development time is testing. So when developer is finding bugs at the source code level, he is doing white box testing. So then developer says, okay, let's see how it works. So he runs the program and pretends to be a user. And he is playing with that software, making sure it works nicely from user perspective. Guys, black box testing. So developer will do programming, white box testing, and black box testing. And it is not who that person is, what the title is. It's about how exactly he is doing what he is doing. So developer does programming and white box testing and black box testing. You might, let's say you are a good student of our program. Let me save it just in case. And then you have that web page. But okay, you are testing that web page. And you are doing right click and say view page source, okay? And here is the HTML, JavaScript, whatever code, source code of our page. And you are saying that is why it's not working, okay? So there is a tag missing. And again, in case you understand a little bit HTML and JavaScript or whatever is used for that web page. So who are you now? You are the white box, whatever your title, but you are doing the white box testing. The activity when you look at the source code is called white box testing, because and you find bug and report that bug in the source code. You will say line blah 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 missing, something is missing. Okay. So guys, are you with me? Black box, white box, gray box. There is a gray box testing. We'll talk about it. Is not who you are, what your title is. It is which activity you are doing at the moment. That is the point. Keep going. Yes. Keep going. Software development life cycle. We will talk about that stuff a lot eventually, but historically, development happened in stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. I will make it simple by going to Google and saying SDLC, Software Development Life Cycle. Yeah? I will go to pictures. Images. Oh, okay, images. Let's take a look at an image. No. Software. Oh, I'm sorry. Software. Oh, God, I'm getting tired. Software development life cycle. So historically, it was called waterfall, stage by stage by stage, going, from up, going down. And you see different pictures here. Okay, let's take the first one. It says planning, defining, designing, building, testing, deployment. It is not the most popular one. Okay, let's take, but again, nobody says you have to stay with this or that. Look at that one. That one is about 5 stages. Yeah, oh God, no. Okay, 6. Planning, analysis, design, implementation. Implementation, guys, lots of people call it coding, programming. Implementation has different meanings. That word is used for coding, and that word is used also for going to the company, installing, configuring, teaching people how to use it. They also would use the word implementation. So, but in that specific case, implementation means programming. Testing, maintenance. Maintenance means 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. That is maintenance. So small improvements, that kind. So that is what software development life cycle used to look like, pretty much. And again, it depends what kind of company, the size of the company, the tasks it has, and so on. But you have an idea of what it is. And if you look at your interview answers, what we gave you to learn, it is at the very bottom of the page here. Software development life cycle. It says software development life cycle, guys. That is crucial in your understanding of the process. Software development life cycle, or SDLC, as people abbreviate it a lot, is a conceptual model used in project management. Guys, you have stages. Each stage has certain schedule. It has certain deliverables. Yeah. Now you have managers, and managers are managing. Okay, they can manage you. So software development life cycle is a conceptual model used in project management that describes the stages involved in an information system development project. From initial feasibility study, which might or might not be there, through maintenance of the completed application. And there are a couple of links here. I would suggest, both. So my point here is, it is a very common concept, and in today's world, when we move from waterfall, lots of companies are now in agile development life cycle, which is not waterfall. And guys, you're gonna have so much on agile, and the difference between agile and waterfall and stages. And I just want to tell you, it is coming, guys. I have no resources really to talk about this stuff here. But the question is, no, the question was define software development lifecycle. So software development lifecycle is a conceptual model used in project management. Model used to describe the stages which starts for I don't like it. If we gave you a good definition, why would you do that? Complete cycle of development of a software, I think. You don't have to think. You just study what we give you to study. Conceptual model used in project management. Good. I would add which project management, which how to say it better, describes software development process in stages. That is what I would do. And the question, what is software development life cycle, is totally different from the question of what are the common or what are the stages of software development life cycle. It's a completely different question. If they ask you about the stages, you will come up with analysis, and then requirements, and then design, development, testing, and whatever, maintenance. But the question was not about stages. Yeah, getting the right requirements, establishing the requirements, blah, blah, blah. No, not really. Software development lifecycle is a conceptual model used in project management. Okay, good. What is use case? It says. Good question. What is use case? And again, use case is primarily about waterfall development environment, and in agile there is a different mechanism called user stories. Again, lots of that stuff is coming. You will enjoy it. So use case is a format for business requirement. Format. Technically speaking, when you it explains how user communicates with the system, future system, to resolve certain things. Let's say you are a business analyst. Business analysts will do use cases. You are a business analyst, and you work for Wells Fargo Bank, and you have to come up with requirements for software which will be used by bank tellers to open accounts, checking, saving, whatever. And you know how it happens. You go to the bank and they ask you questions besides your first name, last name, and so on. There is no branching on your first name and last name, but they might ask you, how much money do you want to put there? And depending on the amount of money, there might be different branches. They might say, are you a student? Are you willing to open checking and saving again? Together. Many questions. And for each and every question, so you might have 2, 3, 4, 5 branches, and branch. And eventually, it comes to possibly, let's say, 39 different configurations of a checking account based on how you answer the question. So you need 49 use cases. Now, each use case describes the communication between user and the system to achieve certain result. Now we have potentially 49 results, so we need 49 use cases. So use case is a format for business requirement. Format for business requirement. Yeah, okay, here is the one done based on what we teach. The format used to specify system requirements, it is used by business analysts. Exactly. Guys, do not Google for that stuff, okay? When you answer my quizzes, learn what we teach, okay, to answer my quizzes. So otherwise you're in trouble, guaranteed, okay? What is the difference between software testing and software quality assurance? We discussed that. Software testing looks at the code and quality assurance looks at the process. All elements, all stages of creating the software application, yeah? Testing needs the actual software product already developed, not finalized, but at least some code. Yeah, we need some code. QA begins at early stages of software development life cycles where the requirements are available to review. Not necessarily requirements, it might be even prior to requirements. It depends on your skill set. Could be more than that. Quality assurance, a more global process. Look, it doesn't answer. I mean, I want to understand what's more global, what's the difference, and we gave you the answer. Okay, software testing mainly focuses on the source code, like white, black, gray box testing. Software QA looks at the entire process of creating the software. Brilliant, brilliant. Software testing is a part of QA. Don't go into that stuff. Just don't go there. Don't go there. I mean, really, just do what we teach, guys. That is a very good example of why it helps to do the homework. What is regression testing? The overall idea of the regression testing is very simple. When developers change the code, and their job is to change the code, they keep developing new features, they keep fixing bugs, and every day they come to work to change the code, modify the code. In the process of modifying the code, they break it a little bit, or maybe substantially, depends. So the purpose of regression testing is to make sure that nothing got broken, or if it was broken, we find it and they fix it, because it is natural for software to be broken as a result of modifying the code. Do we have anything in our file here? Common stages of waterfall development cycle. See, analysis, technical doc. Okay. Use case, format used by business analysts. Each use case represents completed business operation performed by user. What is the difference? Okay, software quality assurance looks at the process of creating product, begins with the day one. Okay, what is regression testing? Making sure nothing was broken as a result of code being modified. That's it. And again, we have those things on the school forum with more details. But that is the idea of regression testing. Making sure that nothing was broken as a result of code being modified. And that is something which comes out of my own mind. So it is not a formal definition. Formal definition could be different. The one we have in your cheat sheet here. Oh, actually, it's here. What is regression? Do we have regression here? No? No, not here. No, we don't. I do not see it here. Yeah, maybe it is somewhere else. So, but when you go to an interview, when you talk to people, it is not critical to come up with formal definitions which you memorize. It's much more important that you come with your own words and talk about things, and everybody realizes you know what you are talking about. See, if you know what you are talking about, you do not need to memorize anything. Regression, okay. Here is what regression testing is about. Okay, partial retesting of a modified program to make sure that no new errors were introduced while making changes to the code. For whatever reason, developing new or fixing existing one. Why it is partial, guys? Partial is not the nature of regression. Partial means you would rather test the whole thing, you just don't have time. Because as a practical matter, it is partial. It is partial. So we have to use kind of risk management, techniques, or just our intuition to decide which part to test. And it says avoid. Don't say regression is testing after fixing a bug. No, any modification to the code. After a new feature was added. No, any modification to the code. Making sure the bug was fixed. When you make sure the bug was fixed, it has different name. Normally we call it verifying bugs fixed, or verifying fixed bugs, verification of fixed bugs. There was time, maybe God knows, 30 years ago. You look at older books and they say it is either, making sure the code is not broken or making sure the bug was fixed. In today's world, nobody uses that definition. So it is not about making sure the bug was fixed. Not about manual or automated or black box or white box, because some people say regression is a black box testing which, or it is a manual testing which, or manual black box testing. No, it doesn't matter what type of testing it is. It's all about purpose. What is the purpose? Making sure nothing got broken, at certain point. That is regression. What makes it regression? So the purpose. Some types of testing get their names from the purpose. Okay, guys, it looks like I'm done with my, with my thing. So guys, are you still alive, guys? Are you okay? Are you there? How many people are there? Okay, we lost like 20 people. Okay. You're okay, still alive. It's okay. So you know what to do. Any questions you have, you ask now in the informal chat. Okay, let's take a look at people in the extra group. They're not saying much. Okay. They know what we are talking about, so they are just kind of refreshing. Okay. So you know what to do. Any questions you have, you go to that informal chat and ask there. That's it. So guys, what can I tell you? It was my pleasure to entertain you today. And again, the notes which I typed here are the notes. The notes and the link to the webinar recorded will be here on the online home, online home page, right here. So September 6th will move to the left, and at that same place, so we will have January 6th. So guys, with that said, I will tell you thank you very much. Let me see if how I should stop that Calibri stuff. I will say stop recording. Stop. Good. It survived. Listen, for 2 hours it was doing things. And so guys, let me finish the presentation, and I'll talk to you Monday next week. Thank you.